Greetings, welcome. This is Jason Thickman from Just Right Technology. This is episode 3 of Make Technology Work for You Wednesdays. It's a pleasure to be back with you. We have successfully started our recording session Wednesday morning, so I'm excited about that. We will record this session, and when it's done, have it posted on LinkedIn around noon, so that anyone who is available around lunchtime that may want to ask questions or just check it out, it's available for you to do so. So just another recap and an intro. Just Right Technology is a small IT consultant firm located in the Bronx, New York. I've been doing it since 2007, so a little over 10 years. We've been in registered business, conducting business in New York and occasionally in New Jersey. We started out doing computer repair. We started out doing a lot of custom builds. And eventually we got into project management and more consultant tech support work. Today, I operate the business primarily as a consultant firm where I act as an IT advisor. I work with people in the mobile development space, the web development space. I also work with education. Anything where expertise in how technology is delivered and executed is concerned is really where Just Right Technology is branding itself. And a hashtag or a tagline that we've used for a very long time is make technology work for you. It's a piece of advice that I lend out to my clients whenever we have a consultation, just to reinforce the notion that technology is not this complex world that if you don't have an experience and if you don't have the skill or know-how, that you won't be able to operate within. We simplify terms, we simplify processes, we simplify just the overall comprehension of what technology is so that people can sort of adapt and get acclimated with how they're going to use technology in their business. And so I started these Make Technology Work for You sessions as a way to share the tips, suggestions, and advice that I give my clients. You know, occasionally giving you real world scenarios that happen, real test case scenarios where I've actually had a client who's had difficulty around particular subject matters, and ultimately this is what we did to solve that problem. But in today's session, we're going to talk about investment, and I know that may sound a little off topic as it relates to technology, but you'll get the point as we go into it. And just to also give you the information around how to get in contact with us, you can go to bit.ly/Jason Thickpen if you want to find out about some of the ways you can work with Just Right Technology. That's bit.ly/Jason Thickpen, JASONTHIGPEN. As far as this live stream, if you are listening or watching now, we are on YouTube Live. We are also on Instagram Live and Facebook Live. Look for Just Right Technology, and you should find the streaming link. If you want to call in and ask a question about the topic, the number is 732-595-8849. Once again, 732-595-8849. 8849. We'll be talking about investment as it relates to your business and your mindset as an entrepreneur, or essentially not just entrepreneurs. I don't want to exclude folks who don't own a business or who don't feel as though they're an entrepreneur yet, right? But if you are even a hobbyist, if you are looking for your passion project, if you are attempting to do more than what the average person is attempting to do, this conversation will definitely suit you. So let's get right into it, right? So the first term I want to throw at you is technology. A lot of people believe that technology only has to do with computers and has to do with cell phones and servers and everything under that gamut, but it doesn't, right? And so this very basic definition of technology, I hope, will sort of bring things full circle and let you know what's going on. I see some people on the Facebook live stream. Peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in and listening. But so technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, right? It's very simple, which means that if you apply any scientific knowledge that you have into a practical solution for yourself, you are, in a sense, not only implementing technology, but you are creating technology. And so that's really, really important for you to recognize. And when we talk about investment, there are a couple definitions for investment. I'll read the first, which obviously pertains to financials. But then I want to read my favorite one, which I think most people can lock in terms of just your mindset. So the first one around financials, the action or process of investing money for profit or material result. It's obvious, right? An investment is something that you essentially has a monetary value. You put that money into it and you're expecting some type of result. But the definition that I like the most is the third iteration of that first definition, which states, the act of devoting time, effort, or energy to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. And that's the type of investment we're going to be talking about today. The idea that when you want to invest either in your company or in yourself, you can apply very practical and simple approaches to ensure that the result you get is worthwhile, and you can make the decision later on if you're going to either pivot to something else or if you're going to double down on that approach. And so I'll leave it there for you to think about, but I want to give you an example of how that can be done in business or from an entrepreneurial mindset. So from a business perspective, web development, right? Today's day and age, you need a website for the very least just to be informative so people can go and find out maybe where you're located if you are selling a tangible product or service, or if they need to know more about the product or service. You also need awareness around the trust factors and who you are as a business owner and as an entrepreneur. People need to feel as if you are a tangible, real thing, not as if you are this sort of made up, fictitious thing that's just sitting in the internet. And so having a website gives you the ability to do so. You know, I've already shared mine. I'll share it again. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/Jason Thigpen. That's where I sort of have rebranded myself and my business to give people an opportunity, not just to know about the services that I deliver, but to find out a little bit more about me. And I hope that that's the message it conveys. But I've sat down and also done the research to figure out the best ways to do that. And so that's how I've applied it. And so I would invite you to do the same. But going back to the conversation around a website, very simply put, your website ultimately can give you a result, a worthwhile result, if that's what you want. Some people believe that as soon as I have a website, I'm going to start making money. And that's not essentially how it works unless you sell things online like e-commerce. And then you're looking for immediate results. You're looking for people to not only buy into it, but to ultimately come back again, you know. And so there are things that you can do to ensure that that happens. The issue was they hadn't really thought out the accountability and responsibility from their side, what it would take. And so when we laid out all their objectives, they wanted to ensure products were updated, information, description. They also wanted to make sure that the photos were updated. They didn't realize how daunting of a task that was, though, from a technical perspective. And so once the timeline was laid out as far as how many hours it would take to actually complete that task, and it adjusted their budget, they had to say, wait, hold on. If we are not able to actually achieve this goal within this budget, then it's not a good decision for us. And I agree. 100%, because it comes down to that. And so once we went down all their hardline objectives that were very direct, we recognized that they wanted to get it done. They needed to get it done, but they just couldn't afford to get it done. And so, of course, they came back, the next year and had the proper funds, which really, calculated to about $3,500, which not only got them all their objectives met, but from a service provider's perspective, I'm getting my value paid for, and I'm working with somebody that understands exactly how we're going to reach that goal. And so it turned out to be a great relationship, but ultimately was a business opportunity that was paused or stalled for over a year. And so sometimes you have to understand how to invest yourself. I would employ you, no matter who you are, whether you're a business owner, an employee, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're just looking for your passion project. Maybe you just found your passion project. There are ways for you to create a formula of investment for yourself, not just monetarily, but for time, for energy, and ultimately for effort. The best way to do it is to start small. An example of that is, and that we'll use that same case scenario. You don't have the funds, but essentially you want to start your web. You want to start rebranding and rebuilding your website. I would suggest taking one of those objectives. We spoke, the client had 5. I would take one of those objectives that can be done for anywhere between 25 and 50% of that original budget price that you had. And then I would move forward, see what the results are, not just from effectiveness in terms of the website and what it's actually doing, but how do I feel about it? Do I feel good that this return was sufficient? If not, potentially then that wasn't a great investment. Your investments should return that worthwhile feeling that you went into it with. And so that's pretty much the theory. That's pretty much the idea, is that when you're looking at investments for yourself or for your business, look for worthwhile returns versus just monetary returns. That's important, not only in the sake of your mindset, but how you go forward moving on to bigger and larger investments. I would also add, and the last point I'll make, is that you have to ensure that your investment also has the kind of value that no one can take from you. I think if you only use the word investment for monetary purposes, you get stuck in this world of money and material, which are all things that obviously are great and when you have them in abundance. But when there is a shortage of these things, it also can start to affect the character and the personality, and that ultimately affects your business and how you operate as a professional. And that's what you don't want to have. So you want to probably put more energy and effort into investing in yourself as it relates to your approach. And once you find something that works, then you can also apply it to business in different ways. And so I think that's a good note to close out on. Once again, this is Jason Thickpen from Just Right Technology, and this is Make Technology Work for You Wednesdays, session 3. We're definitely going to come at you again next Wednesday. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email at jason@justrightTechnology.com. Or if you just want to get in contact about any of the 5 service areas or industry areas that I cover and work within, you can go to that link. That's bit.ly/Jason Thickpen, and you will find out exactly how to get in contact with me. You can sign up for the newsletter. That way you can be included on all the Make Technology Work for You sessions, as well as anything that is produced and put out to the public. You'll be the first to get it, and you'll be the first to know. This morning we were on Instagram Live under the name @JThig57, which is that's the professional account for Just Right Technology. We were on Facebook Live at the Just Right Technology business page, and we were also on YouTube Live, which is attached to my business email, which is jason@justrightTechnology.com. And so look forward, please support, continue to be great. It's 2019, still a new year. This is now the 2nd, going into the 3rd week. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you are. Definitely enjoy your day. Peace.